What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We're back with some more NBA player props as well as some game lines that we're going to talk about here shortly. I do want to take a look at our bet tracker from yesterday. So taking a look at us on the month so far, we are up 57.77, so almost 6K profit on the month. Yesterday was a $356 profit day, so back-to-back winning days. Looking at the bets we had yesterday, I had Suns money line, Kings money line, and Raptors money line. Those are the three that I personally played. Suns cashed. Kings ended up losing, which I had half a unit on them. Then I had a full unit on the Raptors, which ended up cashing as well. So I had a plus money play for the Raptors. So decent day overall yesterday. Some of the player props didn't go the way I had hoped. When we talk about our free picks from yesterday, obviously, Zubac ended up missing because of a blowout. He didn't come back in for the fourth quarter. We only needed 1 bucket or 2 rebounds. It was free as you could possibly get for Zubac, and he just didn't have a chance to cash us out, and that would have cashed a slip. The other one that missed was Sabonis. If Sabonis would have gave us 10 points, we would have cashed both of our free picks, but unfortunately, it ended up missing. So it is what it is. The free slips ended up chalking. The pairing were bad, and hopefully we can get some good pairings today. I am going to pick a winner from yesterday's video to win a free month of our VIP. So if you're new to the channel, I do this in every video. If this video gets 250 likes, I'll select a comment from the comments to win a free month of our VIP. So drop a like, leave a comment. Winner from yesterday's video is going to be for Michael Sabadin, who said give us 4 picks, at least 1.7 each. So 1.7 payout each. I'm assuming that's what you're talking about. You're talking about playing like a regular line. For example, over here on Parlay Play, the original line for most of these are going to be right at 1.7x. That's just the regular line. It's not the way I do things, man. If I do that if you're talking specifically about the 6x play that I played yesterday and I asked about, if you're talking about that, then yes, I can do that. In terms of the original double up slips I run, 2 1.7x slips is going to be a 3x. 3x plays are cool if you want to play 2-man, but I do prefer going for double up. So if I have one 1.7x, the other one's going to be like a 1.2x to give me the double up. That's usually how I run things. But maybe you were talking about the 4-man slip I posted yesterday, which I'll start doing those in the videos as well. But Michael, send me a message on Discord, man. You earned yourself a free month of VIP. I appreciate the comment, appreciate the advice, and if I did misunderstand what you're saying, just let me know. And obviously, if I do those 4-mans every day, then I will for sure make sure they're probably 4 picks should be close to a 10x. But anyways, like I said, leave a like and comment on the video, guys. I do appreciate you guys. If you guys do want to join our Discord, the Discord link is down in the description. The Discord is free to join. If you want to get every single play, and you guys can see up almost 6K this month on money lines. You want to get all these money lines, you can get them for $10 a week or for $25 a month. And right now, you can use code NBA, get 20% off. So it's $8 for your first week or for $20 for your first month. Highly recommend you guys take advantage of that. But those are down in the description if you guys do want to join the Discord. So that being said, let's go ahead and jump into some of these free picks for today. So we're going to talk about this slate. The slate's not the best, guys. I'm not going to go super in-depth on these games. I'm just really going to pick the winners. So I'm going to pick my money line winners and tell you guys if I think it's a good or bad bet. We'll talk about injuries, but talking about where the money's at and stuff, I'm not going to do today. I'm cutting it close on time right now. The wife is about to go under some anesthesia, so I'm about to take her to the doctor and get some of that going on. So I got a little bit of a busy day, so I am going to be a little bit quicker. But anyways, first game we have is going to be Cavs Hornets. So this one's going to be taking place in Charlotte. Right now, Charlotte's plus 138, so you got very close odds on this game. Now, let's talk about these two teams lately. So as of lately, the Cavs have won 3 of their last 5. The Hornets have won 3 of their last 5 as well. You look at the winnings. The Cavs just got blown out by OKC on my birthday on January 19th. So their starters shouldn't have played too many. Let's take a look at Donovan Mitchell. So let's take a look at some of these players, see how many minutes they actually played in that blowout game. So I'm going to look at Donovan Mitchell. So Donovan Mitchell right now, we're looking at his points prop, and he had played 35 minutes versus OKC in a blowout loss. So, yeah, that game just got really ugly. They played regular minutes, so he didn't rest like half the quarter like I thought maybe he would have done in the fourth. He played almost normal minutes. So not really extra rest for this team. They are missing Garland, they're missing Sam Merrill, and they're missing Max Strus. When you look at the Charlotte side of things, they just beat Denver. Beat the Nuggets. This one was in Denver. Back home, they have about 3 days of rest since this game. They beat Denver by 23 points, so a pretty nice victory over the Nuggets. Looking at this team, they're missing Mason Plumlee, they're missing KJ Simpson, and then they have, we're just not even going to attempt to say this name. We're going to call him TS. We've got TS, who is probable. Now, Hornets have looked pretty decent as of lately. They haven't been that bad. They've been playing competitive with some of these teams. They beat the Lakers. You can see versus the Clippers, they barely got beat. They blew the Jazz out by 55 points. Like, team's been looking okay. LaMelo's been playing better. LaMelo, ever since that Trae Young trade, I'm telling you guys, I was making a joke about it in the Discord, but it seems to be true to me. Like, LaMelo, since that trade, has been putting up some pretty decent numbers. Now, okay, I say that, and he has a 10-point game last game versus Denver. But it was a blowout, so that one you can't. He only played 19 minutes. Only played 20 minutes versus Golden State where they got beat by 20. You put him up, when you look at his last 10 when he's playing like normal minutes, 30, 33, 25, I guess he's been doing a little bit better. Anyways, maybe I'm completely off on that. But regardless of this, man, it's hard for me to go against the Cavs here versus the Hornets. Give me the Cavs for minus 138. You guys can look at the public betting yourself if you want to pause this on each one of these games. But you can't see. I'm pretty much going to go with the public here. I'm going to lean for the Cavs to win this game. You're going to see me put a unit on the Cavs today. That's what my first pick of the day is going to be. Next game is going to be Pacers versus Celtics. Not much you need to talk about here. Most people is going to be on the Celtics. They're minus 400 favorites at home. Celtics have been doing very, very well this season. 62% win rate on the season. They just lost to Detroit in a 103-104 game. I had Detroit in this game, so I'm glad they won. But the Celtics been looking great, man. Pacers just lost 2 back-to-back games. They got blown out by the Pistons. And then they lost to the Sixers. So Indiana missing Mathurin, missing Obi Toppin. Boston is going to be missing Minot and Tatum, obviously. Jaylen Brown's still probable. So Brown's probably going to play this game. I'm expecting the Celtics to win. Not really anything in depth here. I do think Siakam could potentially have a decent game. Looking at Jaylen Brown, if I take anybody from the Celtics, in my personal opinion. Next game on the slate is going to be the Nets versus the Knicks. Knicks are minus 450 at home. Most of the money is going to be on the Knicks for a reason. You look at these two teams. The Knicks have lost 4 straight games. They have not looked good as of lately. They've actually lost 9 of their last 11 games. Like, they have been getting absolutely hammered. This is about not even that great of teams. Lost to Dallas, lost to the Kings, lost to Phoenix is good. Lost to, I guess the rest of these teams are pretty decent. So 2 rough teams in there, but decent teams have been beating them. Look at the Nets. The Nets, I mean, they're the Nets. They don't have much talent on the team right now in terms of being a competitive team versus some of these better teams. But they've won about 2 of their last 11 as well. They've been getting pretty much killed as well. Looking at this Nets team, they did miss Michael Porter Jr. a couple games back. Maybe it was the last game versus Phoenix. I'm not 100% sure which game he missed. It was one of his last 2 games Porter did not play. Now, Porter is playing today. You know how it is when Porter Jr. plays. And if MPJ plays, I'm playing him. He's been a wagon this season, probably the biggest wagon in the NBA for me personally. So I am going to be running that player prop for sure. On the Knicks side of things, nobody I can trust. I'm not running Brunson. I'm not running Towns. I'm probably just going to fade the Knicks today. Brunson's always good for 25 points, but I'm just not risking it today because this game could potentially get ugly. It's got an 11.5 point spread for a reason. Give me the Knicks to win this game. I think the Nets keep it competitive. But in New York, man, it's hard to count the Knicks out. So who knows what's going to happen here. Next game on the slate is going to be the Pistons versus the Pelicans. You got the Pelicans plus 355 underdogs at home. 90% of the money on both sides is going to be for the Pistons. Looking at these two teams, the Pistons have won 6 of their last 7 games. Pistons have found their stride again. They're looking really, really good. Pelicans, about the same as they've always been. Can't barely find a win to save their life. Looking at the Pistons, their only injury news is going to be for Chris LeVert, who is questionable for illness. You look at the Pelicans, they're missing Jose Alvarado. Herbert Jones is questionable. And then you got DeJounte Murray, who is still out. So, Pelicans missing some players. Kept it close versus Houston the last game. Kept it close versus the Pacers the game before that, but they still lost. Give me the Pistons here. There's not very many underdogs on this slate that I'm willing to run with. The Pistons have been one of my favorite teams in the league in terms of betting on. They've been very consistent, 31-10, strong team. So, give me the Pistons to win this game tonight. Next game, Hawks versus Grizzlies. This is when we actually have an interesting matchup. So Memphis is minus 118 at home, 1.5 spread, 238.5 total. Pretty fast-paced team. Now, the Grizzlies just beat Orlando in an easy fashion. And this is a game I thought the Magic were going to win. So the Magic took my money that game. Or Ace's money. But anyways, looking at the game over here, we had the Hawks, who have lost 4 back-to-back games. They lost to the Lakers, they lost to Portland, they lost to Boston, lost to Milwaukee. Looking at this Atlanta team, they're missing Dante, obviously, missing Porzingis again, missing Ricochet. You look at Memphis. Memphis still missing a lot of players, but they do have Ja Morant back. They have Coward back. So they're missing potentially Aldama, who is questionable. You got Brandon Clark is out, Zach Edey's still out, Ty Jerome is still out, and Scottie Pippen is still out. So this team's missing a lot. They looked good in their last game. They've been playing competitive with all these teams. They beat the Nets. They had 2 back-to-back games versus Orlando. One of them was in Orlando, and they barely got beat. They kept it close with OKC. They lost by 1 point. So this Grizzlies team has been playing well. Hawks team, not so much. Got blown out by the Lakers. Beat pretty bad by Portland. Blown out by Boston, and then beat by Milwaukee. So I think it's time for this Hawks team to get a win. I think they're due for a win. But the way they've been playing, man, it wouldn't surprise me if Memphis wins. So here's what I'm going to run. Running the Hawks in this spot for plus money, I think is going to be my move. I think I'm going to run with Atlanta for plus 122. Memphis at home, the way they've been playing, they've been playing better basketball. So if these teams continue to play the way they've been playing in the last 5 games, I think Memphis wins this game. But in terms of who's due for a win, which team on the season has been better, I'm going to run with the Hawks here. That's just my personal opinion. So give me Atlanta to win this game. It's a tough call. Most of the money is right now, it's about 50-50. More money on Atlanta spread than anything. But give me the Hawks here. I'm going to run with the Hawks in this game. Next game is going to be Bucks versus OKC. OKC minus 333 on the road, or 335 on the road. Most of the money on OKC. A 9.5 point spread versus the Bucks. OKC back in their winning ways. They've won 6 of their last 7 games. The team looks 6 of the last 7 look very strong. Missing Alex Caruso, missing Hartenstein, missing Topic, missing Jalen Williams, missing both Jalen Williams potentially. So got to look at that as well. Looking at Milwaukee, missing Kevin Porter potentially. Taurean Prince is out, and then Miles Turner is also questionable. Do I think that Giannis and friends beat OKC? No. Can they beat OKC? Yes. If OKC doesn't have a, they've had some games where they've kept it. They've had a hard time beating some weaker teams. Now the Bucks are decent. When Giannis is playing, Giannis and friends are a pretty good team. So, I do think that the Bucks are live dogs at home tonight, plus 337 for a reason. This is a game where I won't be playing OKC moneyline myself. Now that doesn't mean I'm going to play the Bucks. If I was going to bet on one of the 2 teams for the odds, I would take the Bucks, because I think the Bucks at plus 337 are legitimately live underdogs at home. So give me the Bucks for 337. Do I think they actually win? No, I think OKC is going to win this game. But in terms of betting, I just can't take OKC for minus 337 or 335 in this spot, because this game I think is going to be very competitive. So this game is going to be a no bet for me unless I decide to risk a quarter unit or something for the Bucks. Last game on the slate, we have 2 back-to-backs. We have the Toronto Raptors on the back-to-back versus the Kings. This one's going to be in Sacramento. Kings are plus 178 underdogs, 4.5 spread. I played Kings money line yesterday for half a unit. They bit me in the butt like they always do. I do not like betting on this Kings team. They are the Suns for me right now. I can't call them right to save my life. I'm a big fan of the Suns now. The Suns, I went from a hater to a lover for the Suns, guys. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like the Suns have been a team that I really just didn't like, and I'm gonna be honest with you, it's because of Dillon Brooks. Dillon Brooks has been a player that I have not been fond of. I've seen a lot of trash talk on the internet for him about betting and stuff like that. So I've always been, for the last 3 or 4 years, I've been against Dillon Brooks. But anyways, he's stepped it up for this Suns team, and this Suns team's been looking good. So I have been converted. I actually like betting on the Suns now. I'm gonna be honest with you. They've proven me wrong so many times that it's hard for me to go against them. But this game right here, Kings versus Raptors. Toronto right now is potentially missing R.J. Barrett. He's questionable. Hepburn is out. Colin Murray Boyles is out, or questionable, Jakob Poeltl is actually questionable this game. And then you got Jacoby Walter. You got to wait for injury news on this game before you can pick a winner, for sure. Sacramento missing Keegan Murray. If everybody for Toronto plays, give me the Raptors. If all these 2 players sit, then honestly, Kings at home, I'm probably going to run with the Kings. This game's tough. A plus 178 for Kings is hard not to take. But Toronto is the better team, and I think they actually win if they actually have their players. But that being said, let's go ahead and jump into some player props. Before we talk about the player props, I do want to say, if you guys do want a free month of our VIP, you can get one by signing up for any partnered app down in the description. The one I push the most right now is Parlay Play. If you sign up for Parlay Play right now using code Fantasy Aces, they will give you $5 for free to bet with. They will give you a deposit match for anything you deposit up to $100, and you get free VIP. So you could potentially, say you deposit $100, you're going to have $205 plus free VIP to play with on Parlay Play. We're going to be posting some slips today. We're going to cash today on Parlay Play. I'm telling you, if you want to be a part of it, then make sure you guys do join using our code Fantasy Aces. And you can do that for any of the 7 apps in the description. You can get up to 7 full months for free. Just send me a message on Discord if you sign up for any of them, and I'll get you added. Now, One more thing that we're partnered with right now is going to be called Upside Tools. Upside Tools is an optimizer. What it does is it takes our lines from our apps like Prizepicks and Underdog, and it compares them directly back to other sports books, and it gives you a percent to hit rate. For example, right here, Kyron Williams over 2.5 targets has almost a 60% hit rate, and it goes based off of the odds that it's seeing on Underdog right now. It sees Underdog at minus 336 odds. It's telling you based off the value you're getting for that, you're getting a 60% hit rate over on Prizepicks right now. So this book is Prizepicks, and I can change it to whatever I want. So could be a very good play. Playing against Seattle, the Seahawks defense obviously very, very good. So maybe this is a good play, and you could do that across the board. Another thing that I found out yesterday was esports discrepancies. These esports discrepancies have been very, very. They look very strong, and I'll be honest with you. What it does is it finds the best value. Like yesterday, there was a lot of value on Better taking the unders because Better had the lines like 2 or 3 higher than every other platform. So you can take a look at this. You can see the market average is 2. You can see Prizepicks has it at 1.5. It's 2.5 over on Underdog, and you can run the under if you want to take the under. So that being said, it says percent for the under right here, 66.7%. So that's going to be the highest hit rate based off of esports right now. It's going to be Sheena for map 1 kills. So if you guys will play around with this, you can get 5 days for free using our code ACES down in the description. If you guys want to try that, you also get 25% off your first month if you decide to keep it. So just letting you guys know it is there if you want to try it out. Let's talk about these free picks. So the first free pick that I want to talk about is going to be for our man Michael Porter Jr. This is a play that I've been running with a lot. It's hard for me not to take Porter Jr., and let's go ahead and pull him up. So Michael Porter Jr., PRA. Now, the line I'm looking at for him is going to be 31.5. So, Porter Jr. at 31.5, you can't get on parlay play right now, so I'm not going to lock it in live. I will lock this in later or on a different platform, but you can see it goes from 29.5 to straight up 34.5. Now, Porter for 29.5 usually cashes. Porter for 31.5. He's cashed 8 of his last 10. He's cashed at 73% of games on the season. Biggest wagon in the NBA for me. Going against the Knicks, he's definitely going to put up the shot volume head-to-head versus the Knicks. He's been under every single game. He has 1 game this season, or 2 games this season. He had 29 and 20. So, yes, the matchup is very, very tough for Michael Porter Jr. Does that mean he's not going to cash? No, that does not mean that. I think he's going to cash regardless. He's averaging 36 PRA on the season. He has a lot of games where he's getting high 40s, low 50. He got 50 in 1 game. So, dude's been a beast, been a wagon. 31.5 is definitely not something I'm not willing to take. I will definitely take him for 30 PRA. Now, let's pull up Michael Porter Jr. Porter on Prizepicks. See if we can get 31.5. So 31.5 is right here. We're going to compare value versus parlay play. Who am I pairing Porter Jr. with? I'm going to pair Porter Jr. with Jalen Johnson PRA. So I'm going to run a PRA slip. Jalen Johnson at 34.5. So 34.5 is not that high. I know he's had some off games lately. He's cashed at 5 of his last 10, so about 50% of his last 10 games. On the season, he has almost a 70% hit rate. He's averaging 41 PRA. Now, this is a matchup versus the Grizzlies. Head-to-head versus the Grizzlies, he has no games from this season. Last game, he had 32 PRA. Jalen Johnson this season has been the star player for their team. He has killed it. He's averaging 41 PRA. There's some games in here where you can see he's getting over 50. This game, he had over 60, so he's been absolutely dominant in the games there where he does well, I guess. I mean, if he goes over 40, he can get all the way up to 60. Like, the dude is a monster. He's struggled the last 4-ish games, but that being said, man, like, he just come off a 50-point game or a 50 PRA game versus Milwaukee. I'm expecting him to bring it back into this game in a close game in Memphis, and I do think he has a good game tonight. So 35 PRAs, not that high. I'm willing to put my money on it. If you don't want to play it, you can fade any of the plays you don't want to play. So Jalen Johnson here. 34.5. This is going to be a 1.6x, so you can't even play it on parlay play. Now, let's take a look at it on Prizepicks. Here we go. PRA 34.5 is going to be a 1.8x on Prizepicks if you play 31.5. Now, if we wanted to play it on parlay play, we could always run it with something else, like something that you would expect to be free, like Brunson for 19 points or something. Like 20 points for Brunson is always a good play as long as it's not a blowout, and you could do that instead if you didn't trust Porter for the extra 2. And maybe we end up doing something like that to make this a little bit better. Let's see. We could take Giannis. Yeah, Giannis for 20 points. We can pull this up real quick. I might just run that for you guys and play Michael Porter 2 less than I want. But you can get it on Prizepicks as well. You just saw that. So Giannis for 20 points. I mean, is there anything that really needs to be said here? 93% hit rate in a game versus OKC. Like, I know it's OKC, but I do think Giannis gives us 20 points. So let's lock this in. I'm just going to throw a unit on this, 250 to win 450. And there it is. Track picks, refresh. Porter, Jalen Johnson, and Giannis all locked in. So that being said, jumping into our second slip of the day. The first one's going to be for DeRozan. I'm taking our man DeMar DeRozan. We are taking DeRozan over 6.5 rebounds and assists. He has cashed it 7 of his last 10 games and 60% on the season. Now, lately, the dude has been a wagon for this. 75% hit rate on his last 20 games. He's averaging 8 rebounds and assists. A lot of games where he's getting double digits rebounds and assists. Going against Toronto head-to-head data, he's been over 1 of his last 2. None are from this season. If you look at this matchup for him versus small forwards, Toronto versus small forwards has one of the worst rebound and assist defenses in the league, giving up a lot of stats. So should be a good matchup for our man, DeMar. I like this play a lot. DeRozan should give us 6.5 rebounds and assists, and with that line for a regular, this is a regular line almost. So DeRozan, 6.5 should be like a 1.65x or something, 1.63x. So you can really play this with about anything and still get your double up or get your the odds to play. So I'm pairing DeRozan with our man Jaylen Brown. If you don't like Brown, I don't blame you. Brown has his off games, but he averages 25 points easy. Like 20, he's kind of like Shea for 25 points. We can bet on him about every game, and he's going to cash. Cashed to 8 of his last 10. He's cashed to 80% on the season. He's averaging 30 points per game on the season. Head-to-head versus the Pacers. He's cashed at 5 straight games versus the Pacers, averaging 32 points. Not much to really say. Jaylen Brown for 25 points is one of those lines where I feel safe running him. So, and this game could potentially stay competitive. They're playing against the Pacers. It could get ugly. Don't get me wrong. But 25 points, I think if it does get ugly, Brown's going to cash that. So right here, 250 to win 472, and we got it locked in as well. So we locked in these 2 plays. Let's lock in our 4x or 5x, whatever. So we're going to go to Jaylen Brown. I think what I'm going to do is if Brown drops 30-ish points, which is his original line, he's going to cash this 2 3-points made, in my opinion. So I'm going to risk it with Brown 3 points made. We're going to put DeRozan on here for 6.5 rebounds and assists. We're going to go to Michael Porter Jr. Porter Jr. here. We are going to run him for, I guess, 34.5. That line's a little high. This is going to be sweaty for sure. They have to keep this game competitive. We can maybe run his points line. I almost feel like I trust him for 25 points before I trust him for 35 PRA. Let's pull Porter's points up. Let's take a look at it. See which one we like better based off of hit rate and how many shot attempts he's taking. I know he takes a lot of shots. He's a ball hog. Averaging 19 field goal attempts over his last few games. 25 points. He's cashed 64%. 70% of his last 14. I think I like that better than PR. Let me see what PRA is. 65%. 61% on the season. He's cashed this one of his last 2 versus the Knicks, averaging almost 20 shots per game. These games were both blowouts for them, or not. One of them was a blowout, one of them wasn't. So I think I'll risk Porter for 25 points. I think that's what I'm going to do for this slip. And then we're going to throw one more. Who do we have? We had Jalen Johnson. So we'll throw Jalen Johnson on here as well for our risky slip. Jalen Johnson, 40 PRA, or do we want to run points for Jalen Johnson? 22 points. Let's pull Jalen Johnson's points up. See which one we like better for this. Do we like 40 PRA or do we like the points? I'm kind of leaning. I like these points bets a lot. So points, 21.5. He's had some bad games lately on points. Let's check the 40 PRA because I know he can get 20 RA in some of these games for sure. This is a good matchup. Yeah, I think we're going to run PRA for Jalen Johnson based off the matchup. So 39.5 PRA. You're looking at a 9x here. So if we put 125 is going to win 1,100. And this is a slip. Let me be honest with you guys. This probably does not hit. These 4-man, I don't play these for a reason. I'm doing this for YouTube. We could legitimately do a quarter unit, which would be $62. We did a quarter unit, it's for $500. Like, that's really not risking that much for me. I mean, I'm okay with risking a quarter unit. Half unit gets a little bit tough, but you got to understand, we run a half unit and hit this, and that we just profited 4 units. So it's really nice payout if you win. But the problem is hitting it is going to be very difficult. So I think Jaylen Brown cashes. I think DeMar cashes. Porter and Jalen Johnson are going to be the sweaty ones. 25 points versus the Knicks. It's going to be tough for Porter. We have to have this game pretty much stay competitive, which it potentially could with the way the Knicks have been playing. But then Jalen Johnson, I don't dislike, but it is going to be sweaty as well. So these are the two. If we left them off, you could play these two together if you wanted to. I'm going to throw that $1,000 win looks nice. I'm gonna put this 100. I'm gonna put 125 on it. We're going to do it. I locked it in. Do I think you should play with low bankrolls? No. Just do it. Literally just doing this for YouTube. Like, this is not something I would do just to be the most profitable guy ever. But if this hits, then, I mean, obviously, it's going to be a nice win. So that's what I got locked in, guys. The two that I recommend telling is this one. If you want to play it risky for a little bit of money, then there you go for that. But anyways, got it locked in. If you like it, tell it. If you don't like it, just fade it. Hope you guys have an awesome day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.